Alright, so I was recently thinking about the legacy of Virtual Console and thought we'd have a little discussion about it. Have some completely unrelated Fire Emblem Heroes dailies footage in the background here, but yeah, it all started when I was thinking about playing the Princess Peach Showtime game. I wound up playing something else, but I kind of thought, could also be a good time to visit the DS Peach game. Luckily for everyone, Nintendo decided to completely shut down the eShop, and resellers decided to price the game in this region for 3 times more expensive than it would have been on the eShop, at least as of right now. And it got me thinking, do I think Virtual Console will return anytime soon? No, but that's no fun to talk about. Especially since I feel like there could be kind of a chance, and I thought it would be fun to speculate. I don't think that it will ever return as we knew it, unless there's some new regulation about, I don't know, needing a product to be on the market to avoid people being able to provide an alternative legally. Seems unlikely, but not impossible. Two other ways that I can kind of see this happening, though, are if a future Nintendo platform really winds up struggling, and it sort of puts them into a position similar to the 3DS and the Ambassador program, where they want to try to drive up sales and develop some goodwill between them and the community. The other way would be pressure from the competition, because as much as Nintendo wants to sit around and pretend that what Sony, Microsoft, and Valve do doesn't affect them, let's be real, if somehow Microsoft or Sony were able to completely open the floodgates and allow you to attempt to run any disk on their system emulator for their latest console, or offered like a ridiculous number of legacy titles digitally. And if Nintendo were to sit around potentially with not even having backwards compatibility and having everything locked behind a subscription service, I think that would hurt them quite a bit. I guess this reason kind of relates to the previous reason, but with that being said, I don't even imagine them just putting shit back on the eShop. I think it would be almost similar to what we see now from PS Plus and what we used to see with games with gold. It could be exactly how they did it, to where they'll select a game or so a month and allow people to download them from the Nintendo Switch Online, whatever app, or whatever it'll be called in the future. And like I said, you have the ability to play it offline and play it regardless of your subscription status, as almost a loyalty incentive. Either that or something that I feel would be pretty cool and unique. I almost wonder if you could eventually maybe see Game Pass or PS Plus take a similar approach eventually, if things kind of head that direction of allowing a selection of games. Like with Nintendo, I can see them maybe switching up consoles a month. So maybe one month you can pick an NES game, another month you can pick an N64 game, so on and so forth. You would probably have to restrict it to the games they particularly published, but I don't know. Maybe you can convince, Capcom, Square, whoever, to add their games to the selection. It would be really tough, like if they just completely opened the floodgates and said you can pick any of our published games, because then, like, how do you compare like early NES games or Game Boy games that are a couple hours long to, bigger SNES games or N64 games and eventually, hopefully, GameCube games and such? That's why they, might have to restrict it by console per month. And then that would make it easier to work with third party stuff too. Because I can't imagine, like, I mean, maybe they can work out some sort of deal, but I mean, these deals were part of Games with Gold and PS Plus. There's lots of third party games offered there, but that's, they're free to keep for what? Oh, I guess this is what Epic does too. But they're only available for like a week, a month, 2 weeks, whatever. There's a precedent for that, but a precedent for a longer period of time doesn't exist. So I don't know. I guess it could kind of be weird, or like one time you'll have all the Nintendo stuff, but maybe you can pick Capcom games, and then maybe next time the NES goes around, Capcom stuff's not there. Maybe the following time it's there, well, now Square's there. Another time they're both there, and so on. I feel like it would almost favor the third-party companies at that point. But maybe that's even what Nintendo would want. But I'm not going to lie, I let my Nintendo Switch Online subscription expire. I wasn't really using it. The only reason I renewed it the previous year was because I have a sibling and they were using the subscription, so we got the family plan. But now they're not really using it either, so I haven't had it for 9-ish months. Not planning on getting it again anytime soon. It really pissed me off when they locked the N64 stuff behind the expansion pass for more than double the price. But I'm not gonna lie, if they did something like this, if they were like, okay, you get the expansion pass and you can pick an N64 game to have regardless of your subscription status and your online ability to, have available on the app and future iterations of the app for future consoles, I would have stayed subscribed. I'd probably still be subscribed. As long as I can pick up those legacy titles and have them ready to go with the next platform, to me, that's a no-brainer. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating. I don't know, because N64 games used to be like $10 on the eShop, so this would be a bit more expensive. It would be like $30 for them, and NES was like $5. I think SNES was $7.50. But at the same time, that's, a bit better than the third-party market, and you get a lot of stuff with it. And just sort of that rewarding feeling of building up a new collection in that, even if you've already kind of done it before. There's just a big conveniency sake and getting, quality of life, online play, and that sort of thing with it. If they kept, I don't know how well they've been keeping up on it, but some of their expansion packs as well for newer games. I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever feel particularly incentivized to do anything like this, but maybe they will one day. I think there's definitely a market for people who just, want to get these classic games on a convenient platform, because busting out and finding if you don't have some of these older consoles and worrying about, their longevity, like batteries for some of the saves in older games too. And, people want to keep that. That's why what's going on now doesn't really seem super appealing for a lot of people. To, just get things at a fair price, but all we can do is hope one day it changes to this, or even better, just put all the shit back on the eShop and link it to the app that'll, get support as long as you're developing platforms and stuff. So we don't have to keep paying upgrade fees like we did with Wii to Wii U Virtual Console. But yeah, that's what I thought I would talk about, because I don't know, I've never really seen anyone really bring it up too much.